It's something that they've never done before, especially over the short distances. And so it really gives a huge performance benefit that they never would have got otherwise. We're talking today about warming up. Yay! Now, I kid you not, one of the best things you can do to improve your performance is warm up really well. Now, if you're running a race where the distance is going to be difficult to complete, so if you're running an ultramarathon, 100 miles or a 50 mile, you probably don't need to warm up that much. If you're running a marathon that just completing the distance is going to be a big task, then you probably also don't need to warm up that much. But if you're a very experienced marathoner and you're really going for time, or if you're an experienced runner and you're running a half marathon, or if you're watching this running a 5K race or a 10K race, probably isn't the longest that you ever run. So in those cases, for races like that, what you really want to do is a much heavier warm-up than you thought you should do. Now, there's this idea in running that you have this gas tank, and you want to get that gas tank nice and full by eating and conserving your energy. And then when you go out for your race, you want to empty the gas tank and you want to burn everything out. And we think that running empties that gas tank, right? Do you have this idea in your head? So if you go out to run, let's say a 5K, you want to save your energy, right? For the race where you're going to unleash. But I'll tell you that you're not going to run out of energy by racing a 5K or even a 10K or even a half marathon. And if you're a high mileage runner, if you're a very experienced runner, probably in a marathon, you're not going to fully run out of energy either. You may come close. So instead of thinking about emptying the gas tank, I want you to rev the engine up. I want you to think about warming up the engine so that you can give it everything you got. You ever go to the track and do something like 10 by 400? Is the first one your best one? I think you'll agree, your first one or two or even three, they feel a little bit harder. You're maybe a little bit more sluggish. And then you've warmed up, and the third, fourth, and fifth one, they kind of come a little bit easier. And then the fatigue starts coming on, and then you slow down a little bit perhaps. Notice how you did even better after maybe 3 hard 400s. Isn't that interesting? If you were emptying the gas tank, if that analogy were true, it would mean that as you did 1 and 2 and 3 400s, you should perform less well, but you perform better. And the reason is because you've done a hard warm-up. So when you warm up for your next race, I want you to try a harder warm-up. And this is advice that I got from Jack Daniels, credited as world's greatest running coach back in the 90s. This guy's really smart. And he said, make sure you do a harder warm-up. So I suggest you do this. We want to do a mile or two, depending on the race. The shorter the race, the bigger the warm-up. But maybe for like a 10K or a half marathon, you might do 1 or 2 miles, maybe 3 miles, nice and easy, very easy, just to get the blood flowing and the nerves firing. And then after you do that, you're going to want to come back and do some strides. Now, we've got videos on strides. You can check out this video here, or in the comments below, we've got 2 videos for you on really how to lock in and do your strides. But strides are essentially going to warm you up by running fast, but for a really short period of time, so you're not really burning through glycogen, you're not tiring yourself out, but you're getting your legs used to running a lot faster. So you should do at least an easy run with some strides. But if you're going to run a short distance, a 1 mile on the track, or a 5K or a 10K, something like pretty fast, then you're also going to want to do some intervals. That's right. I just told you to run some intervals before a race. And what you're going to want to do for, let's say, like a 5K, right? After you do your easy run and your strides, you're going to then do maybe some 200s at your 5K race pace and take a nice break in between and catch your breath, and then maybe finish with like 1 400 at 5K race pace. So by the time all is said and done, you might even get in 3/4 of a mile or a mile worth of 5K pace running before you run your 5K. Now you're nice and warmed up, not just metabolically, not just with the temperature of your body, but you're also neuromuscularly warmed up for the exact demands of race day, for the exact demands of a 5K, right? And I challenge you to try this. Warm up a lot harder than you ever have before and see what the results are. I think you're going to find that you're going to run the very best of your life. And come back and leave a comment below when you get a new PR just by doing this. I myself have run my best off of big warm-ups, and a lot of my runners and clients, especially over the short distances, we do a really big warm-up. It's something that they've never done before. And so it really gives a huge performance benefit that they never would have got otherwise. So try it out, and I'll see you on the next video.